to another episode of DOTAG. It's me, Felu Aboboye, your host. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be available for this podcast, anyways, guys. I just say that as it is. This podcast or this episode is a special one, as you guys know. This will be we're having our first guest on DOTAG podcast, and I'm here with Mr. Felu Aboboye. It's nice to have you, sir.
Thank you, Ife. I'm excited to be here. Feels weird that you're calling me Mr. Abuboye, by the way. But yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I'm also very happy to be your first guest. My expectation is that it will be beginning of like many big things, and looking forward to big guests on your show. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. So no, yeah, this DOTAG a podcast as it is. As I said, I'm still trying to shape things up. How it's going to go, what are things we're going to be focused on. So I'm trying this guest podcasters, and let's see how it works out. Probably we'll be having more guests on the show. Yeah. So Mr. Oluwaboboye,
Can you stop calling me that?
Okay, let's just stick to Ore.
Yes, stick to Ore. That works.
Okay, Ore. So let's just start. 2023 is ending, right? So what's like the thing that you're most grateful for this year, 2023?
Okay. So I'm actually grateful for a lot of things. So it might be a bit difficult to pick the what I am most grateful for. However, I think I'll speak broadly. First, I'm grateful for the successes this year, personally, and even for Jobberman as a business. I'm actually very excited for growth. I'm happy, because I grew personally. Tough times grow people, right? Yeah. And for most business leaders in Nigeria or Africa or even worldwide, 2023 has been a very, very challenging one. True test of leadership, and also like navigating your business through the storm and the uncertainties. So I am most grateful for growth. Just navigating that difficult season. 2023 started with serious uncertainty. So we had elections in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We're not sure what was going to happen. I think for most people it was even less. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of there were so many leanings as regards the political leanings and all that. But on the business side, you are much concerned also about who does what, because understanding the Nigerian market, there is a lot at play when it comes to policies, and so as a business leader, you are also very sensitive to that. You're also sensitive to the currency exchange, so monetary policies also. You are checking the news every day just to be sure that things are still right. So it was an interesting ride, and just navigating through and growing as a business leader is that's aside from many other things, that is something that I am most grateful for this year.
Okay. That's interesting to hear. So I'm pretty sure that you faced some form of struggles during this period. So I know, because guys, we always say that from a layman's perspective, when they say somebody is the CEO of a company, means probably the person has his own, or is living the life, as you all say. He's living the life. But I really don't know. Can you just shed a bit more light on what you think the expectation that people have to being a CEO, and what it actually means to be the CEO of a company?
That's a very interesting one. A very interesting take by the fact. Okay, so expectations. I don't know. Expectation is very personal. So and personally, I don't gauge myself on on other people's expectations, because I think it's very unfair, and it's very unfair, and it's also a weird standard to measure yourself. Um, you can do agreed standards or agreed expectations, probably expectations in a contract or in a pre-discuss. I mean, you have a pre-discussion, and you set an expectation with someone or a group of people. Fair enough. Parameters are clear. But to then live your life or gauge your life based on a version of you that someone has in their head, I think it's just very unfair. It's not the best way to live life. Too much pressure on you. So when someone says that they are disappointed in you or you did not meet expectations, you're asking yourself how, what, where. So when you said people's expectations for being a CEO, I don't know. I sincerely don't know. Reason because when I took on the role as CEO of Jobberman, I did not necessarily see the glam, in it. Like, maybe you have some official car or some, police escort. I think it's Nollywood that painted those things, because I can tell it's tough work. It's tough work. Being the CEO means that you are 100% accountable and responsible for whatever happens in your company. And the bigger the company, the bigger the complexity. When I say big, of course, it's a combination of either the revenue size of the business or the number of people that work in the company, the company structure, whatever, or even the shareholding structure and all those things. So, just being absolutely responsible for everything is quite daunting. You're responsible for actions that people will take. Some will pass through you, some will not. Especially when you also now work with very smart people. I'm fortunate enough to have a very, very dedicated and smart team around me. So these are people that, as a leader, it will not make sense to micromanage. You would really be undoing yourself. However, you then also need to manage. You need to manage their output, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for that output. So for me, it was quite daunting. And I worked with, I say maybe my personal superpower is that I love doing hard things. So for me, it was more around always scanning for the inefficiencies in the business. So I kind of have like the firefighter approach. When people say, when you have fire, the natural response is for you to run away from it, but the firefighter is trained to run towards it. Of course, calculated with all the equipment and all that, so ensuring that you have all the right resources to tackle the problem, and also to ensure that you then don't have frequent firefighting, right? Because that's part of your, measure of your efficiency as a business leader, that you actually move away from continuous firefighting to then having proper systems and structures, to fix things and run things. So yeah, for me, it was, today I could be in a department and the next week I'm in another department. Today I'm solving some revenue related situations, so I'm doing sales. Tomorrow I'm fixing operations in recruitment. Next tomorrow I'm talking to the product team to get some things out. Upper week I'm talking to the marketing team. So it's just a mixture of many things. I've not seen the glam. Maybe I will see it. But of course, it sure comes with its own fulfillment, right? When you know that you are responsible and accountable to people and to your shareholders and also your staff members' livelihood, and you actually check those boxes every month in, month out, you're doing that. Your shareholders are happy with you. your staff members are happy, they are paid, the rent is paid, the business is running smoothly. That for me is the glam that I see. But aside from that, I don't know. Sincerely, I do not know.
The reason why I made mention of that, you made mention of the fact that probably Nollywood has a part to play in people's idea about what a CEO is. Because truth be told, when you watch any Nollywood movie, not even Nollywood, maybe Hollywood movies also, you see CEOs very nice. Of course, they have nice offices.
Oh yeah, I've got a nice office too, by the way. Yeah,
they have this nice office, nice car. No, they just look like the person that you want to be like, right? And I just knew that most likely what they pass through is totally different from
what you're saying.
What you're seeing in movies and all that.
Yeah.
Because I of myself, I can call myself a CEO. Of
yes, you are CEO now. CEO Young Rush, guys. CEO Young Rush.
So in that sense, because ever since the business has started, it has not. Those glam, the people that I see, I've not experienced any of it.
You've not felt like a guy yet. Yeah, I mean, you're still building, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. There's also a part of the age of the company and where you are at. So there's the building phase, there is the maintenance phase, there is the accelerated growth phase. There's just so many things. So there's also that, and I'm not necessarily discrediting the fact that there is no glam in being a business leader. Don't get me wrong. Again, because as a business leader or as a CEO, you are also responsible for the brand, the way the brand is perceived. You are the face of the company. So which means that to a large extent, even if you don't feel like it, you are supposed to, any public appearance, you are representing the brand, right? And that means a number of things. So the associated glam, right, may also be a reflection of the fact that you want the business to be positioned in a certain way, in a certain way and all that. So that also could be, but that does not take away the fact that it is a stressful job. Yeah, it is.
Well, from my little, how many months now? I think your month should be 8 months now. This December, I really haven't experienced any of the glam. That's so but yeah, I know it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time, and it's. I think I was thinking to myself, the beginning of this year, I was like, by year 2025, that I want to be a CEO of a business. I had literally at that point, you never know your Rush was even going to come to play right at that point. And the reason why I was like, okay, CEO, but no, it just felt very cool, like to attach to the name CEO.
It's more than the name and the title. It's responsibility, it's accountability, it's getting the job done, it's doing hard things, it's just ensuring that things are done. That's why you're the chief executive officer. You things must just must be done. Okay. Yeah, you're setting the direction, you're confirming the strategy, you're planning for the strategy, you're implementing the strategy, and then you're also ensuring results. So it's and then I think the most interesting part of my experience so far as a business CEO is you're also expected to predict the future. It's quite interesting, right? Yeah, because you then do forecasts. You do forecasts, and then you tell your shareholders, hey guys, this is what our forecast is like. So you've done your budget for the year, and you're like, okay, this is what our trajectory will look like and everything, and then bam, your monetary policy comes out and throws all your whatever to the bin, or some economic hardship or some. It's just interesting, and you still need to ensure that you are projecting positivity to your investors, of course, and you can. I think it's highly irresponsible for any CEO to lie to their investors. I think it's not that I think it is actually very irresponsible to do so. But it's also important as part of your job to then also show a positive light, like so you're in this issue, in this situation. What are you doing about it? What are you doing to turn around? What are you doing to pivot, or what are you doing to get ahead of the curve? And then when you're doing that, you're also saying, oh yeah, in another 3 months down the line we should be here. So you're seeing the future, and then the future comes and hits you hard in the face. So yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I've enjoyed it so far. Yeah.
Yeah, because literally it means you need to be in the present and also think about the future all at the same time.
Continuously.
Yeah. No, that can be very stressful. To even stay in the present alone might be something that is very difficult for me to even do. Not talk less of, okay, I'm staying in the present. As I'm in the present, I also have to think about what's going to happen in the next 5 months, or what's going to happen in the next quarter that's coming up. So yeah, I totally, that can be quite
A way to hack that, however, which is also a very important part of my role and any CEO's role, is to hire the right people.
okay.
When you have the right people in your team, then your stay in the present may be limited, and you will be required to actually be more futuristic, because you are confident that you've hired very competent people, and two, these competent people understand your vision, so that they are able to then translate your vision right into reality in the present, while you then continue to ensure that the futuristic vision is still on course. Do you understand here? So if, again, depending on the stage you are at as a business, right, that will then determine what your focus on your day-to-day will look like as a business CEO. It could be just focusing on hiring the right people, which is also very tough, because it's beyond competency.
Yeah.
So there is the competency part of it. There is the team energy also. There is the work style and the leadership style. So there are people, really highly competent individuals, they get things done, but then they don't fit into the team, right? Which is also totally different, So it's a combination of many things, and it's also quite dynamic.
Okay.
You can people will come into your business, people will leave. How do you just ensure that dynamic? So you're juggling so many things, right? And yeah.
Because honestly, was it 2 days ago or one? No, 2 days ago. Yes, I was in Ibadan and I was speaking with somebody that I think I might want to hire to join the business. That's Yom Rush, and the person is a graphics person. So because I've noticed that apart from my products that I do, one thing is also lacking, which is the social media presence. People knowing that I do what I do right now, and I'm kind of, let's say, out of 100%, my 80% of my time is focused on the product. The remaining 20 is kind of focused on how do I push this thing out. I know focusing on the product is good, but I'm not really giving much attention to letting people know that this product actually do exist.
So how do you then make sales?
That's the point, because really for the past 7 to 8 months that this business has started, I've not really focused on sales, but I think it's also good to also have that at the back of your mind, and starting up, at least increasing the sales a bit and all that. So and I first thought to myself, okay, I think I need to hire a graphics designer, somebody that can help put this product online, in that sense, that can help design graphics that go along with it. Okay, we are doing a particular sales promo, 15% discount, this, that. Somebody that can help work on stuff like that. And I met a guy, and we had this discussion, and we spoke about, okay, have you ever done anything related to in the food sphere? And I was like, yeah, I've done something in that. I saw some of his works, which were very nice, and we had discussions about, okay, how much would you like to get for stuffs like this? I don't know. We came to an agreement, And I was like, okay, no problem. Let me give you a try for a month, January. I'll probably be drawing up a contract with him very soon, and say, okay, by January, let's start something and see. So hopefully, guys, by January next year, Yom Rush will start coming. Yom Rush will be much more present on the social media pages and all of that, really. And I don't know. This is my first time I'll be hiring.
Ah, congratulations. Did you use Jobberman to hire?
No, I didn't.
You should use Jobberman to hire.
Yeah. So this will be my first time hiring. So I've never done it before. So I hope. Well, as I've said, this is a learning phase for me. So I hope it all comes out well in that sense. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's just as you've said, having the right team helps you to keep your mind to able to focus on the present and also on the future. Really, that's a very good one to take. And 1st of December, going back to you now, 1st of December 2023, the Guardian released an article, and you were named one of the top 50 most inspiring CEOs in Nigeria.
Interesting.
Oh my God. I don't know. Should I say you're like one of the most humble people I've ever seen? It's fine. It's fine. Or you just don't care.
That is also interesting.
But really, how did that make you feel when you had the news?
So it was quite fulfilling, I guess. Yes, it was, because it also meant that whatever we're doing is being noticed, and that for me is a testament to the team effort. So it's not just me. Whatever you see come out of Jobberman, it's not just me. It's a combination of lots and lots of things and people, just putting things together. So I mean, with the nomination and the acknowledgement itself, it showed to me that we're doing something right, and that the focus community recognized it, and they can see that. So to now further drill down to say, oh yeah, there's something to get to learn from this particular CEO running this particular team, gave me some form of validation that yes, we're doing something right. We're not perfect. I'm constantly learning, so so I can. Trust me, it will never go into my head, because I always see reasons to improve and ways to improve, like every single day, so I'm not there yet. However, the acknowledgement is quite fulfilling. It felt very fulfilling, and also gave some sense of validation, like, yeah, what we're doing is being seen.
Okay. So did you think maybe there was something in particular that kind of brought about that sense of recognition from the Guardian? Because literally in Nigeria there are a lot of CEOs. I'm pretty sure there are
lots. Yeah. So that was why I was also quite shocked, because the nomination itself was like, okay, that's interesting. So they had like different things that they were looking for. Of course, this year we did a lot of things in Jobberman, like lots of content came out of Jobberman, impact content, and also like business focused products, and whatnot. So the way we also positioned ourselves and our brand this year also impacted that recognition and the validation itself. So I know for a fact that the what pointed them in Jobberman's direction and in my direction would definitely be a function of the outputs that they saw, in the year so far. We had the biggest career fair in Cardinal States this year. We had the first and foremost creative career fair in Lagos. We had a big career fair, career clinic in Ibadan. We had employer focused campaigns for people, for companies to post their jobs on Jobberman for free, to for them to take advantage of our technology. Also acknowledging the fact that things might be a bit tough on businesses at this time of the year. We clocked 3 million job seekers on our platform this year. So it's a combination of many things. We trained a lot more people, with our partnership with MasterCard. So what else? We launched the How Young People Survive Without Works, without work report this year. We did the roundtable discussion this year. So when you combine all of that, right, you start to see a pattern, and you say, okay, you start to notice, and you start to see that, okay, maybe these guys are onto something. And so I guess that was what pointed them in my direction, right? I don't see myself as some superhero or some super CEO or anything. And I still feel the same. But I'm grateful to the Guardian newspaper. Thank you. It means a lot. It also means that the validation that we're doing something right.
Oh, that's good to hear. So, I know when I hear the word Jobberman, or when I hear Jobberman, what comes to my head is, okay, a place where I can find jobs. A place where people post jobs, where if I'm looking for a job, like, I can get to see jobs that are available. Is Jobberman more than that? Is there any other thing that you guys do that is different from that?
Okay, so Jobberman from inception started as a marketplace between demand for skills and supply of talent. That was the starting point, right? But over the years, we've pivoted. We turned 14 years this year. This year we're still in 2023. So in the past 14 years, we had pivoted and done so many things. So from being a 100% online job portal, we also started doing some executive search and placement. We also created a couple products that would help streamline the recruitment process. So instead of just doing candidate attraction, we then moved from candidate attraction to candidate shortlisting, interview, even headhunting. Then also we moved into some business process optimization in the HR space, and then also outsourcing. So we did that, and we also we now do a lot of graduate training programs, for different companies. So we're still in that HR space, because HR, employability, talent management, whatnot, is a very large ecosystem, and the value chain is also very large. So it's, as much as possible, we are not trying to be jack of all trade and do everything, because we can't. That's the truth. It's a very large ecosystem and value chain. But to a large extent, we have kind of just circled around that whole, ensuring that at the end of the day, whatever we are doing gets a candidate closer to where their talent is needed, right? So we also delved into youth engagement and then talent training, and with our partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, amazing stuff. And so we got into training, soft skills training, employability training, and also we do corporate training, for organizations. We facilitate that also. So we do with the MasterCard Foundation, we do the soft skills training, the financial literacy course. We also have the entrepreneurship course that we recently launched this year. And on top of that is also this journey we have with the MasterCard Foundation to ensure that young Nigerians are placed in work. So at the end of the day, you see that we still, whatever we're doing is still that marketplace, but it's beyond whatever is on the online space. Yeah. It's everything and anything that we need to do to just ensure that that connection happens, which includes talent development, to job visibility, to even the employer knowledge gap. Ensuring that the employers also understand how to deal with their staff members. You have like in another 10 years, most corporates will be filled with Gen Zs. True and true. Or maybe Gen Zs also actually will start becoming managers by then. So how do you prepare for that? So we also do that. So we run HR breakfasts, where we bring together HR managers from different companies, and we just give them the opportunity and the platform to talk about their challenges and everything. So it's at the end of the day, it's just when you drill down, right? The first principle for us is, how do we ensure that people are connected? How do we ensure that talent find work? How do we ensure that companies find talent?
Right. Okay. So it looks like there's even a much more deeper relationship with the business itself, like the companies or businesses looking for this talent. So because to me, the perception I just had was or maybe most people have is just, oh, I'm looking for a job. I just go to Jobberman and that's it. So
Yeah, we still do that.
so I think it's way more than that just now.
Yeah.
Hearing from what you're saying, and yeah, that's good to know. This is a general question that I want to ask. Are you a happy man?
Yes, I am. Oh yes.
Why do you think so?
So happiness is relative, right? For me, I'm happy because I find fulfillment in what I'm doing. Because I'm doing what I want to do. So yes, and I'm happy about that. The definition of happiness for many people differs, right? Depending on who you are, what your aspiration and dream is. For some, it's the fulfillment of their dream, long-term dream, whatever that is. For me, it's just the fact that I find fulfillment in what I'm doing part time. I see the impact of my work, of my job every day. I see the results of what I do every day. Sometimes when I look at placement numbers, or maybe I'm excited. Like these are individuals that have found jobs through us. When I look at our staff members and the fact that they are actually also they are excited doing what they're doing. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a happy man.
So let's say it this way: if I remove Jobberman from your life,
Okay.
are you still an happy man?
Yes, absolutely. So aside from Jobberman, I'm a family man, a very private person, by the way. I'm a very, very, very private person. However, I mean, outside of Jobberman, I'm like 100% family person. So I don't take them for granted, and I'm happy, with the way things are, with my family. So yeah, and also there is there's apart from the your emotions and the state of your mind and all that, which for me, to a large extent, I'm constantly at rest. I try to find Zen, which is like where things are like stable. Maybe difficult because of the job, right? But as much as possible, I try to find Zen in whatever I do. So I irrespective of whatever is going on around, I'm just naturally happy and settled. I may be anxious, but that doesn't mean that I am unhappy. My anxiety is a function of a future that I'm trying to get. So at the moment, I snap back and I'm like, hey, have you have you done everything you can? Everything you have control over, have you done them? If I have, then I'm fine, right? Um, that's where we pray, right? Then you pray, exactly. So yeah. So when I now take a stock of that, physically, emotionally, um, spiritually, right? Yeah, I'm at a good place by God's grace.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Also, this might look very hard, but I just know that people pass through these things at a point in their time in their life, and I just want to know how you were able to just how you were able to move past it, basically. So I know at some point you must have failed. When I mean failed, maybe you didn't meet up to expectation,
No,
or
absolutely. Yeah.
so like in those situations, what were your reactions? What did you do at those point to kind of maybe to return yourself back to the happy place in that sense?
First thing is to acknowledge the failure. It's a failure is um, failure is a part of is a part of life. Failure is not a destination, by the way. Neither is success. They are not. But they are. It depends on the way you look at it. For me, um, um, when you succeed at something, if you check well, your success story has multiple intermittent failures in it, where you tried something and then you didn't get it right, and then you tried again, and then you tried again, and then you eventually got it. Even for those things that you think that you got at a single go, if you take a good stock of it, you'll find out those failure points, right? But the major the differentiating factor is your ability to then pick yourself up and take learnings. So um, for me, any activity that I get involved in, I'm not necessarily looking at it from a lens of success or failure. I'm looking at it from a lens of what am I learning from this? So whatever thing you're doing, or whatever opportunity life presents to you, right? I don't look at it from a lens of success or failure. Like, if I get this, you can set for yourself like minimum KPIs. Like, okay, I have to hit A, B, C, and D. I have to say as a measure of success, which is important. Especially when you have resources deployed and you know that resources are not. Resources are limited. You don't have all of the resources at one. And let's even say that you have unlimited resources. You don't have all of time. So, so when you look at that, right? For me, I try as much as possible to look at to experience my experience from a lens of what am I learning from this? What lesson am I taking away from this? Be it failure, be it success. But then it's so to answer your question, how do you handle failure? Acknowledge it first. Acknowledge it and separate your person from it. Because you failed does not mean that you are a failure. They're two different things. And it's important to snap out of it, because you have to. You naturally would want to fall into that deep hole of of regrets and all. Doesn't mean that you will not take stock. So it's important to take stock and ask yourself, okay, so what did I not do right? Okay, did I not prepare enough? Did I not maybe get enough resources? Did I underestimate time, which we do a lot of time? Did I underestimate time, or maybe I underprepared, or maybe I overestimated some things? That is the best approach. That's the best way to handle failure. And also, there are some failures that you did everything, and then it just failed. And then when you look at it, you're like, okay, so everything I did Probably, okay, random example. Let me give you an example. So which was quite interesting. So we planned to our career fair, the creative sector career fair. We had a beautiful plan and everything. We had everything was set, all right. And in fact, we checked some weeks before. We checked weather condition and everything. Like, we were certain that we had everything under control. Guess what? That particular day, it rained from, I think, like 6 a.m. in the morning to like 6 p.m. in the evening that day. And it was not small rain, it was heavy rain. Heavy. Like, I walked into the hall that day. I think the event was supposed to start at 9 a.m. and I walked in like about 8:30, and it was quite empty. And I was worried. And I'm like, my goodness, what am I going to do and everything. But then people started trooping in, and then people started coming in, and then more people, and then a lot more people. I mean, so we didn't get the total number of people that we wanted, but we got a very significant number despite the rain. So is that a success or a failure? Do you understand? And that's how you look at it. So if you look at it from numbers perspective and all and expectations, yeah, you can say that it's a failure. But when I look at it, I didn't look at it as a failure. What I did was that I then sat down and took stock of what did we do right, what did we do correctly, what are the things that if we have to repeat this thing again, what are we going to do, what are we going to repeat, and what are we going to do differently. And I found out that a very large percentage of what we did, we would definitely repeat them if we have to do it all over again. Do you understand? So, except, okay, maybe we now had more things. So we now learned that, okay, maybe for instance, for subsequent events, we then also make maybe available, buses for transportation and all that, if it is possible, and all those things. So my point is, yes, there will be failure points. It's part of life, but it does not define you. You should always go into whatever experience with a growth mindset, which includes learning from your failures. Yeah. So acknowledge the failure. Know that it happened. Go through the process of grief. Fast track it if you can. Don't wallow in it, but acknowledge it. Then take stock. When you take stock, cut out the things that you will not repeat. Reinforce the things that you will definitely repeat. Try new things and give it a go again if you have the opportunity to.
Okay, wow, that's yeah, because one key thing I took from what you said was learn lessons learned from the failure process, right? Failure is inevitable. It's gonna come at some point in one's life, right? So, and you should just be ready to take your lessons from it, because you just something you might an opportunity might open up for you to repeat that same process, and you need to be able to know, okay, what do I need to adjust, what do I need to change, how what are the lessons learned from the previous one that I need to just try and change things.
Yeah, I mean, at the base of human innovation, at the foundation of it comes multiple failure points. Before look at a growing child trying to walk, that perfect gait, that perfect walking posture did not land on the child. There were instances where the child will crawl, and then the child will try to walk, and then will fall, and then would know, okay, this is how you take your step. You go through it. But what's the differentiating factor is that the child keeps trying. The child keeps trying, and that's the most important thing, right? So you keep trying, and then you take lessons from your failure. And I fell here. Okay, it was because I raised my leg this way, and then I try it again. I raised my leg differently, and this is a new way. That's it. And if you look at it, go through history. whatever human innovation and whatever we celebrate today, at the base of it is an array of multiple failure points. Yeah.
Yeah, because I myself have like a personal story as regarding your merch business. I think I told you about it at some point. For those that don't know, like there was an event I went to that I was told to come and supply them for the event. I went to the event, did the whole donuts, went there, and things did not go as planned. Almost up to like 32 packs, not up to 30, like 24 packs of donuts I took there to sell. So they collected it with the mindset that okay, after that they're going to be paying me the money. But maybe they're going to be paying tomorrow, sure, because literally I just look like I just did a lot of work for nothing. Because they took all the packs and nobody till now. I still have not collected the money for that event, and that thing kind of affected what I was going to do. Following that, there was another event, which was the last event I told you guys about, I think in my last episode or two episodes from this one, that a job of trade fair. And we went for that event and we literally sold all the packs that we took to that event. Yes, because I learned some things from the past one, and I know okay, this is another event coming up. What do I need to do differently to make that one a better one? Yes, so of course I have had failures also in my own life, in my donut business that I'm doing. Yes, but just as I said, you learn and you learn. Stand up, keep doing it. Don't say because I failed at this and just like a very huge failure and I'll stop at it. You just just be consistent with it. You will hit that one success, and which would kind of make you feel like you never even failed in the first place. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good thing to know, guys. Please, when you feel at things, stand up and keep doing it. Learn your lessons, stand up and keep doing them. Yeah, so this is quite a very long podcast. I didn't know it was going to be as this long. Okay, so there's this guy I listen to, DOAC, DOAC, that's Stephen Pilot. He has this podcast, Diary of the CEO. So he has this tradition anytime he has a guest online, guest on stage, and he asks them that the guest that is present would ask a question for the next guest. So Orolua, I don't know who my next guest is going to be, but I just wanted to just ask a question so that the next guest is going to answer.
Okay. So, dear next guest, my question to you is: why do you do what you do? Why exactly do you do what you do?
Okay,
That's it.
okay. Well, guys, I don't know when our next guest podcast is going to be coming about. Hopefully, very soon. So Mr. Olua, sorry for calling Mr. Olua, but I just have to just do that. Thank you for.
When are you going to tell your audience that you're my younger brother?
Okay. Okay, so yeah, he's my older brother. He's my older brother. That's fine. Thanks for coming around.
A pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you for listening to DOTAG on this episode. It's very nice having you around, and please, as we always do, subscribe to our channel on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Yeah, and you can also drop your comments and rate this podcast, and let's see what we can do 2024. Thank you guys for listening, and have a wonderful night rest, day, morning. I don't know what time you'll be listening to this, but have a wonderful day. Goodbye.